Buenos dias, Victoria, and thank you for joining us today at Business Spotlight Series. Today, I'm excited to introduce Victoria Featherby, owner and director of Scream for Pizza. Welcome, Victoria.
Hi, thank you.
Victoria, I love your pledge to create pizza worth shouting or screaming about. Tell us, you told me a very interesting story how you ended up doing what you do. Please go ahead.
So I was working on cruise ships in my kind of mid-20s, and then always had the ambition to own my own business. So after traveling around the world and eating lots of different types of food, I did originally have the idea of having a kind of entertainment venue, but sort of whittled that down to only opening a food business. And I decided to do mobile catering first because it seemed like a much more accessible way of getting into business and lower risk. So went to Naples, learned how to bake pizza, bought a vintage truck, and then set up and started trading in 2014.
I mean, you said it as a matter of fact, but when you break it down, you had to quit your job, go to Naples, spend a few months learning how to do something you didn't know much about, and then coming back and set up the business. That's quite brave of you, to be honest.
Yeah, but I think I've always been a bit transient. So I think working on cruise ships, you're always starting something new. And I think I didn't have any ties at that point. I didn't have a mortgage, I didn't have a family. So it was low risk in that sense. So I thought at that time as well, I had nothing to lose but to give it a go, really.
Really, it was low risk but adventurous at the same time. Yeah,
Definitely
brilliant.
adventurous.
So, what's we had COVID in between. You've been before COVID, during COVID, and after COVID. So, what was your experience through COVID? What do you had to change in the business to survive it? Because many businesses in hospitality and retail, hit the wall because they didn't make the changes necessary.
Yeah, I mean, without sounding horrible about it, it was quite a good time for us, COVID. I saw the opportunity to not shut. We had always been doing takeaway. And I think a lot of businesses just shut their doors and panicked and didn't see a way through it. Whereas we never closed for a day. We went straight to takeaway. And because we were the only ones doing takeaway, we had a huge hype around us. Everybody was bored and they wanted something to do. So ordering a pizza was, the highlight of a lot of people's day when they were stuck in the house. So we pivoted as soon as it happened, and it worked out really well for us. It also meant that, we were just isolated with the team working on the food. Obviously, we were catering to customers, but it was a very different experience just making pizza after pizza rather than having to deal with customers as well. And it also meant that we worked on our processes. We put in, an online ordering system, all these types of things that now everybody's doing. And I think we just pivoted very quickly, and we understood quickly what was happening, and we adjusted to it. So it did work out well for us, COVID.
Brilliant. And what's been the biggest challenge you had to face in your journey from you became a business owner?
Oh, so many. There's always a new challenge. I think, but probably the main two that stick out is managing cash flow and then also managing employees, making sure that you're being a good employer, and also just having to deal with the issues and the baggage that people do bring to work occasionally. We have lots of great people working for us, but obviously we're dealing with people all the time, and that can be complicated.
Yes. I mean, you recruit quite a few people. Many businesses across most industries find recruitment a challenge. How does it apply to you? How do you find that?
I think that it's gotten easier over the years because as we build up more of a reputation, as hopefully a good employer, I think we get more people wanting to work for us, so we get a better caliber of person. It was pretty challenging the beginning of last year when hospitality was facing quite a big crisis, and they still are for the most part. But I think we've turned a corner as a business that we're quite well known where we are now, and I think that people want to work for us. So yeah, as I say, we're getting a better caliber of person, and we don't find it hard to hire, other than the beginning of last year when just people were job hopping and salaries went crazy.
Yes.
But it's settled down now for us.
That's great. What is the key attribute you look for when you recruit people?
People that want to work for us, really, more than anything. We've actually learned that hiring people with the skills already doesn't always work out. Actually, just hiring people who really want to work for you, they love the business and they want to learn how to make pizza or just work for hopefully a nice, well-known business. That's the key thing. You can teach people skills, but you can't teach them to want to work for you.
Yes, I will summarize that in the word with attitude, having the right attitude.
Yeah.
And then training the skill, definitely. No, very good. So Victoria, what are your aspirations for the business for the next 5 years?
Just to keep expanding. So I've got two kind of different pizza brands. One's a Neapolitan and one is a New York pizza and slice and ice cream. So I think both brands have potential to expand. I'd like to open more of the pizza New York slice. We've got that format down quite well. We're opening a second one of that. So I'd like to keep expanding out of the Northeast and perhaps also open a few others of the Neapolitan, but more locally.
Brilliant. Are you thinking of franchising, following the franchise model, or?
No, I've thought of it, but I think I'd like to maintain control over what we're doing. And I think it's two very different businesses, and I enjoy running my business, not helping other people to run an idea of my business, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yes, it's great. What has been so in the past 5 years, what would you recommend to people who are thinking of setting up a business and they don't take the plunge and go for it?
Nothing ventured, nothing gained, I guess. I think that not going into it with a sense of naivety is really important. I think you've got to give everything to make something work. So I would say be totally committed to it. Don't dabble. You've got to go full pelt, make it work, do anything that you can to make it work. If you're not sure and you're not prepared to commit everything to it, then don't bother, because you'll give up quickly.
Yes, no, I love that. Excellent. What's your favorite book, Victoria?
War and Peace. I don't know if that's a cliche, but I love big, long, epic stories, and I love history. So that's always a book that really stands out to me.
Have you watched the 6 episodes on War and Peace that came out a few years ago?
Yes, I did. Yeah. No, it's good. It's good adaptation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as good as the book.
Yeah, definitely. What's your favorite movie?
I love The English Patient. I again I love more historical based drama or just anything that's very real.
Yes.
But yeah, English Patient is one of my favorites.
Okay. If you could choose a day in the life of, who would that be?
It'd probably be someone very powerful, like, I don't know, Winston Churchill, someone that had to make really difficult, tough decisions. Because I don't think we can contemplate how difficult some decisions are to make. So understanding that would be interesting.
Yeah, that's very good. I mean, at the end of the day, running a business is just managing challenges, isn't it?
Lots of decisions, yeah, and yeah, managing problems, yeah.
Yes, yeah, great. What would you say to your what piece of advice would you give to your 18-year-old self?
Just to not be afraid, I think, and to be more honest about who you are, and just to go and be that person. I think, yeah, I think it's probably to be less timid, maybe less timid and less arrogant. the two go hand in hand, I think, with me.
Yes. Yeah, okay, yeah, less timid and less arrogant. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, brilliant. Yeah. Okay, so do you have any news or offers you would like to share with us watching the recording?
Any offers, did you say?
Yes. Or...
Not really, just come and have a pizza if you're around, really. Come and try it.
Yes, brilliant, excellent. Okay, well, Victoria, it's been a real pleasure having you join us today at Business Spotlight and for sharing with us your journey. And thank you so much.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.